stamping retreat. So today I wanted to make some cards with a set that's been in the catalogue for a while but I've not played with for a little while, and I really love it, so I just wanted to get it back out again. So that's the Dress to Impress stamp set and the All Dressed Up dies. So you can see it's quite a girly, like heels and lipstick perfume type thing. And then the dies, you've got this die which you can cut two of and make a handbag, and you've got some buckles for it, and you've got this piece for the straps and things, and then you've got all the pieces that cut out the pieces in the stamp set. So you've got flowers, and you've got a perfume bottle, and you've got lipstick and the shoe. So there's lots of cute things in there. I really like these little buttons as well. So for my first card today, I thought I'd use a cute perfume bottle stamp, and I've got a Whisper White card base, an A6 card base, so that measures 8 1/4 by 5 7/8 inches, and it's scored and folded in half. And then I've got a piece of basic grey cardstock that measures 5 1/2 by 3 3/4 inches. And then this is just an 1/8 of an inch smaller than this, so this is 5 3/8 by 3 5/8 inches. And this is Petal Pink. So I'm just going to take my basic grey ink and the perfume bottle. I just want to stamp this all over so that it makes a kind of background paper. So now we've got a cute simple background paper, and then I've just got a bit of basic white cardstock, and I'm going to stamp another perfume bottle on there in the basic grey ink, and then I'm going to colour the perfume bottle with my Petal Pink markers, stamping blends. So then I've got my Smoky Slate blends, and I'm just going to use the light one and just kind of go around some of this bit here. And I'm just going to add a little bit of the ivory blend to the label. So then I'm just going to heat emboss the Hello Fabulous in white onto this basic grey piece of cardstock. So I've just got this today, which just does the same job as the stamping buddy that I normally use. It just takes the static away. I do prefer the stamping buddy a little bit to that, because that one leaves the that one sometimes leaves a few hairs behind, but I like them both. And they both do the same job. So it's the white embossing powder that I've just poured on there, and then I'm just going to use my heat tool just to heat it up. I'm just going to put my heat tool onto number 2. Then I'm just going to go and cut this out using this die. I'm going to trim this down, and I'm also going to use the handle piece just to cut out a piece of basic grey cardstock that I can put across there, but it will have this nice stitching on it. So then I cut this down, but I think I actually just want to kind of cut it out, so just grab my scissors, and I'm just going to cut around this. I'm going to leave a grey border around the outside, so I'm just going to kind of like loosely cut around it. So let's start layering up the card. I'm going to glue these two pieces together. Let's just see how we want to lay this out. So that will go on there. And then this will go across here. Look, this is one of the straps for the bags, but I just thought it'd be really nice, like a stitched panel to go across there. And then I can pop those on like that. I think that'll look cute like that. So I'm just going to glue that along that bottom bit there. And then I'm just going to chop this off either side. And then I'm going to pop some dimensionals on the back of these ones. That's our panel done, so I'm just going to glue that onto the front of our card. There's our first card done. I think that's really cute. So I started making the second card and I didn't realise that my camera had cut out. So what I've done is stamped and die cut 3 of these lipsticks, and I've used my Night Navy stamping blends for the bottom, Daffodil Delight for this bit, and Poppy Parade for the lipstick on each of them. And I've just heat embossed Be As Bold As Your lipstick onto this sheet here. Then I've got an A6 card blank, and then both of these pieces, so this is Night of Navy, and both of these pieces are the same width, so they're 5 7/8 inches wide, and this one is 3 inches this way and this one's 3 1/4 inches this way. So I think I like that layout, so I'm just going to stick that together. And then I'm just going to cut that off there. I can glue this onto the red panel. And I think I kind of like that offset as well, so I'm just going to offset that panel too. So then that's our second card completed. So I just wanted to say as well, you also get these stamps in the set, and those can be used just to stamp over. So for example, this one you can stamp over the perfume, this one on the lipstick, these on the flowers, and they give like a nice watercolour wash look over the top. I don't want to use them today because they don't go with the style of card that I'm doing, but I just wanted to show you that you've got that option as well if you didn't want to colour everything in. So with this one, I'm not going to touch any of the kind of makeup and bits. We're just going to do florals. So I'm just going to take my Blackberry Bliss ink and this piece of basic white cardstock, and I'm just popping some of these flowers all over it. And then I'm going to grab the other flower as well. And I'm also going to grab these little dots, and I'm going to fill in the spaces with these little dots. And then I'm going to use my Petal Pink and my Just Jade stamping blends. I'm just going to colour all the flowers. So I'm just going in with the dark Petal Pink first, and I'm just colouring around all of the bits where the flowers overlap. But like you can see, I'm not really like taking too much time, I'm just kind of doing a bit of a rough go over. I'm just going to go back in and colour over the top with the light Petal Pink. And then I'm going to go in with my Just Jade. Now I'm going to use Kindness is Always in Style for this one, and again I'm going to heat emboss it in white. And you can see that that particular stamp is really well used. Some of your stamps will get stained, and you just don't need to worry about it too much. I know it bothers some people more than others, but they still work absolutely fine as long as you keep them clean. So it's just something that's going to happen, but it doesn't ruin your stamps. I actually quite like the ones that are well stained, because it kind of shows how much I've used them, and I just like to know, like, it kind of shows me that my money's been well spent then, because it's been well used. Right, so I'm just going to pop that in my Versamark ink, that on there, and it's a bit wonky but it doesn't matter because we're going to cut it down. And then I'm going to take my heat embossing tool. So I'm just going to go and cut that down. So here's that cut down. So now I've got a Just Jade card blank, and that's an A6 card blank. Then I've got this piece which is 3 1/4 inches by 5 7/8 inches. And these are both 5 7/8 inches long as well. And this piece measures about 3/4 inch across, and this piece measures about 1/4 inch across. So I'm just going to stick this piece behind here. And then I'm just going to glue this across the seam. That will just go down here. And I'll glue that onto the front of my card. And I've noticed when I was just gluing there that there were some stamped flowers on the back of this piece of paper as well, and that is totally me. Like, if something goes wrong, then just turn it over and start again. Like, don't worry about it, don't waste paper. That's what it's there for, just turn it over and start again. I always think that about card making, when people say they're worried to make mistakes and stuff. A, you can turn it over and start again, and B, it's just paper at the end of the day. So if you do ruin a piece and you can't just turn over and start again for some reason, then recycle it and take another piece. It's not the end of the world. Sometimes it can feel really disheartening because you've spent a while doing something, but it's all just practice, and it just means, like, you're getting those skills and learning how to do better. So just think of it as an investment in your skills, and then it doesn't seem as bad. See, that's really cute. And the other thing you'll notice is that these scraps that I'm using today aren't full pieces of cardstock. They're actually pieces that have come off a different project that I was doing, and they're just the ends that I've cut off, and I saved them all so that I can do my bits of stamping and things on them. So I want to make another bold card here. We're going to use this poppy red card base. So I think on this one I want a shoe, a perfume bottle and a lipstick. So I'm going to stamp them all out. So I'm going to use my Memento black ink. I'm going to stamp them on here. There's my shoe. Here's my perfume. I think that actually I might go with a pair of shoes, so let's do another shoe. And then a lipstick. And then I'm going to use Petal Pink Poppy Parade on basic black colours. Oh, and Daffodil Delight as well. So I'm just going to colour these in. So that's the dark Poppy Parade, and then I'm going to do the light Poppy Parade for here. And this is the same way that I coloured the other lipsticks for the other card, except I'm going to use black on this one instead of night navy. And so then I'm just going to use my dark Daffodil Delight. And this is my dark basic black. And the light basic black. And I'm going to use basic black on the shoes as well. And I'm just going to use the light smoky slate again. So then with this card, I'm actually, rather than using the dies, I'm just going to cut around them with my scissors. So my camera cut out again, which is really frustrating, but I think I've found the cause, so touch wood it won't happen again. So you can see I've cut out all my pieces, and also on this piece, so I've got a 5-inch square Poppy Parade card blank. Then this piece measures 4¼ inches in basic black. This is a basic white piece measuring 4 inches square. And I've just taken my smoky slate ink and my blending brush, and I've just rubbed the ink on there. And then I just took the dots that were used earlier, this stamp here, with my Poppy Parade ink, and I just stamped it from this corner out. And you can see I've used 2nd generation ink here. So that is when you dip it in the ink, you stamp it off on the scrap piece of paper, and then you stamp it on there and it gets this lighter shade. So I've done that on there just to prep that. And I've also stamped Hello Fabulous in my black ink on just a piece of spare basic white cardstock. So I'm just going to cut that out now. So then I'm going to just lay these out and add them on here. So I think I quite like that layout. So I'm just going to stick my perfume down there and use glue for that. And then I'm just going to glue this back shoe down as well. So I can glue just there. Then I'm going to pop some dimensionals on the back of the other shoe and the sentiment and the lipstick. Then I'm just going to pop this up here. I'm going to put that on there. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue just here, because that's the bit that will stick to the shoes. And take these off. And that can just fit on there. I think that's really cute. And then we can just glue all our layers together. And I think that is really lovely. Then for our next card, I'm going to use my basic grey ink. And I'm just going to stamp 3 shoes on here. I'm going to use a really pretty colour palette of basic grey and petal pink for this one. So I'm going to bring out my petal pink blends again. Not being too careful here because I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to do it by hand, so it doesn't really matter if I go over the lines too much. I'm just going to use the light basic grey to do the insole. Sorry, the light smoky slate to do the insole. And this bit of the heel. Now I'm going to use the dark smoky slate to do this bit of the heel. And then I shall colour the rest of the shoe with the light petal pink. And then I've got 3 2-inch pieces of basic white cardstock here, and I'm going to do a shoe on each of these as well. And I'm going to offset this one a little bit because I'm going to put this one in front of it. Let's just turn that over because that one didn't stamp as well as I'd like it to. And I'm going to colour these exactly the same as the other ones. And these ones I do want to take a bit more care with because I won't be cutting these ones out. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut these ones out. And the reason I'm cutting these out instead of die cutting them is just because I want that really close cut to the shoe, whereas the dies leave like a white edge around the outside, which is really nice for some things you can use. We use those for the first 3 cards with the dies, but it's nice to kind of change it up a bit and die cut some, fussy cut some. They're not particularly intricate shapes to cut, so it doesn't take too long to cut them out. So then I'm just going to take some dimensionals and add them onto these shoes, and then I'm going to add one of the cutout shoes to each of these pieces. So then I've got this here, so this is a DL card blank, so measures 4 7/8 inches that way, and it's 8 1/4 inches this way. And then I've got, so that's in petal pink, and I've got these basic grey pieces that are 2 1/4 inches, so I'm going to pop each of these onto a basic grey piece. Then I'm going to just glue on these 1/4 inch strips. So these are 1/4 inch strips of basic grey cardstock, and they're 8 1/4 inches long, so they just fit across the card. I'm going to stick this one in the middle. Now I'm just going to stamp "Life is Short" by the shoes down here in my basic grey ink. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals just to pop these pieces up. So then that's our final card finished. So let's bring in the other ones. So that's all of our projects today. I really hope that you enjoyed making them with me. If you did, I'd appreciate you clicking like below, and you can also press subscribe if you'd like to see more videos. If you press the notifications button and select all, then YouTube will notify you when I've got new videos available. All of the projects that we've used for today's cards are linked in the description below, and there's also a host code there. So if you pop the host code into your basket before you check out, then I'll send you a free gift after the end of the month. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.